Welcome to FRK 311. Today we are going to do IAS 1, presentation of financial statements. The specific outcome that we want to achieve is that you should be able to prepare and present financial statements in accordance with this standard. Your scope and objectives. IAS 1 applies to all types of entities, and the objective of this standard is to prescribe the basis for the presentation of general purpose financial statements. Now, general purpose financial statements is again to provide information in a structured fashion about the financial position of an entity, the performance, in other words, the profit and loss of the entity, and the cash flows from that entity. Your assessment criteria, in other words, the outcomes that we want you to achieve from this standard. Firstly, the objectives and components is something that you must know. The features in preparation of financial statements is important. Structure and content of financial statements. Presentation in accordance with international financial reporting standards. And in this regard, we will also refer you to the handouts you will get in class. The identification of financial statements. It is important that you should clearly identify your financial statements. You should give the name of the reporting entity. You should specify whether it is a group or individual financial statements that you are drawing up, the date of the end period that you are drawing up, as well as the presentation currency in which you are presenting the financial statements. The general features you must know. They are for self-study. Firstly, fair presentation, your going concern, the accrual basis, maturity, and then offsetting. Now, offsetting isn't something that is allowed in accounting. There are very exceptional cases which we're not going to discuss. Your component financial statements, as you can see there, very quickly, the statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flows, and then your notes. Let's have a look at the statement of financial position. Now, refer to your paragraph 2.4.1 and the example that goes with it. Now, amongst others, we're going to just have a quick look at your other components of equity, which is under your equity and liabilities. Note that the deferred taxation is a non-current liability, and your financial statements. There you are, statement of financial position. Firstly, we mentioned the assets, then under that the non-current assets, the current assets, etc. Then we have our equity and liabilities. There's your total equity and the different components under equity and liabilities. Please know and refer to this this statement where possible. Secondly, we look at the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Again, refer to the relevant paragraphs. Now, an entity has a choice for the presentation of the items of income and expense that must be recognized during the current year. Now, you can either treat it as a single statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, or you can treat it as a two-statement approach, where you have a separate statement displaying the components of profit or loss and a statement of other comprehensive income. Now, if we are going to look at or draw up a single statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, it will consist of two parts. Firstly, your profit and loss part, and then secondly, your other comprehensive income part. Now, that is the single statement approach. If you have two statements, then of course these two items will be included in separate statements. But let's have a look at the example. This one is your single or one statement format, where at the top you have your first part, which is the part of profit and loss, and you end up with profit for the year. And then the second part, which is your other comprehensive income, and once you've done that, the total is the total comprehensive income for the year. Now, if we have the two-statement format, Then your first statement is a statement of profit and loss for the year, also sometimes called by some as the income statement, and then your second statement, which is then your statement of profit and loss. Note that this statement follows from the previous one, profit for the year, and then you have your other comprehensive income for the year in these two statements. And then you end up with your total comprehensive income for the year. Now, your other comprehensive income must be classified into, firstly, items that will not be reclassified to profit or loss, or, secondly, items that may be reclassified to profit or loss. The example there we have our other comprehensive income for the year, and then the item not to be reclassified to profit and loss, or the second one, items that may be reclassified to profit or loss. The items that we will be doing this year in FRK 311 is gains on property revaluation, gains or losses on financial state assets at fair value through other comprehensive income, and then in FRK 321 gains or losses on cash flow hedges. Now, the statement of other comprehensive income, when you look at your other comprehensive income, your tax disclosures, what we will do is you will show your other comprehensive income items separately before tax, and then show only one tax figure for all of these items in your statement of other comprehensive income. If we follow this route, we'll have to disclose an additional note, and this note will have to comprise of the tax effect and the composition of every component of the comprehensive income. We will see later in the revaluations how we do this. Alternatively, show items of the comprehensive income on a line-by-line basis and the taxation effect of each of them on the face of the statement of other comprehensive income. Notes. This notes are for self-study. Now, why is it for self-study? The reason being that with every separate item that we are going to do this year, for example, property, plant, equipment, taxation, etc., we will show you the notes that will have to be done with that specific topic. Well, thank you, and see you in class. And there's your homework for the class. Remember to bring your GARP Handbook 2015.